Police remain on the scene of a mass shooting at a homeless encampment in Minneapolis.
In Los Angeles, the mayor warning about a possible serial killer on the loose, preying on homeless victims.
Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people. And we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. We will have full, seamless, integrated cooperation at all levels of law enforcement. And we'll deploy officers across the district with an overwhelming presence. You'll have more police, and you'll be so happy.
Llegaron muy arbitrariamente y deben de llegar, no tienen trato para hablar con la gente. A mí me dice, señor, levántese, no puedo estar aquí. Me levanto, me voy. Pero no, pues, oye, ya voy por 80 años, ya se siente uno hasta mal. Pero deben de tener más táctica, no debe estar esto.
You know, some of these unhoused people, because some of them need help, and they need various services that they can't get out here on the street, and then they're going to be put in these other traumatic situations, which is going to exacerbate.
Hace como 7 años ya tuve que vivir en las calles. Pues prácticamente donde sea es peligroso, simplemente como vivas, es lo que cuenta. Ahí hacemos lo que podemos hacer para defendernos.
I want no trouble, but I'm competent myself. So I have no problem going on any of these streets and sleeping, but people get shot. Homeless people will get shot sleeping or set on fire, because of revenge, money owed for drugs, someone disrespected them, and they'll straight shoot them while they're sleeping, or, set them on fire.
So in Skid Row, we definitely have a really large number of homeless folks living on the street who tend to have really high mental health and substance use and medical needs. And so our team provides kind of that wraparound service for those highest needs folks living outside. So I think there's a lot of blame on somebody for their disability and their experience. I think there's also this idea that people need protection from homeless people, not that homeless people need protection from, all of us need that. And people who are homeless are much more likely to be the victims of crime. They're rarely the perpetrators of crime, especially violent crime. And so the folks out here are extremely high risk for being assaulted, for being harmed, for severe medical issues on the street. We have lots of folks who die out here every single day because we are not providing adequate care as a society for them. They aren't a threat to us. Criminalizing homeless people, moving homeless people away from our homes and businesses and schools is doing nothing to end homelessness.
Once they are street homeless, they're exposed to numerous traumas, from violence to and crime and abuse and exploitation, as well as just witnessing so much suffering around them. Another big problem is, and this is one of the reasons that drives how we do things, is that even mental health problems like trauma that they're trying to process and get through, they can't even access those problems until their basic safety and the basic fundamentals of living are established. If somebody doesn't have housing, if somebody doesn't have food, if somebody doesn't have a couple of dollars in their pocket, they can't even start to think about what traumas they're carrying with them from their childhood, let alone their hopes and dreams. And it really takes somebody to look at them and erase all of the stigmas about homelessness, erase all of the anecdotes and stories that people have because they haven't gotten to know them. Me working here in the middle of Skid Row, I actually get to sit down with people and hear their stories and understand why they are in the place that they're at and how they feel. And it would be very difficult for me too.
done very little to change anything from kind of the early days of this crisis. I think for the folks that are persistently homeless, those tend to be the folks that there's not like an easy fix for. It's not like, oh, they just ran out of money one month and we could just give them a little money for their rent. These are folks that we work with on this team that have really systemic disabilities. They have severe mental illness, severe medical, severe substance use, severe trauma. They've been incarcerated. They have a lot of challenges and things stacked up against them. And our medical system, our mental health system has so many issues. Our criminal justice system, it churns people through with no real option. So the street is where folks end up. A lot of our folks go jail to hospital to street, jail to hospital to street. And so there hasn't been any significant changes to that in a very, very long time. So until we see real structural changes happening, we're gonna be stuck in the same cycle over and over again.
I think the reason that homelessness is increasing across the United States is that there are a number of factors that are changing in our world. I think it started with COVID, and I think now we look at our economy is changing, and I think that jobs and the cost of living are changing. And so a lot of people are experiencing that they just can't make it. I think our access to basic health care and to education and the ability to have a life with a reasonable wage of living is getting even harder for people. So, you know, we can build houses for people and we can build, you know, low-income housing for people, but I think that it's more important to step back and understand why this is happening and actually create a system where we can build lives for people. Statistically, we're seeing that people of color are being affected with homelessness at a greater rate. And this may be a reflection of how they fit into our society, what opportunities they're being given, what kind of supports are being created, or where more difficulty is being placed on them.
Housing's a start, like housing and rehabs. Housing and like rehabs that actually work. I feel that, because that's what I wanted to get into, because I felt like that was the issue was accessible. The main struggle is probably, like, to be honest, for me personally, is like the way society treats us. And it's hard because nobody wakes up in the morning and wants to be homeless. Like, nobody wakes up and strives to be an addict. Like, I don't wake up and like, yes, I'm gonna try my best today to fucking not have a job and make everyone hate me, at least like the working part of society. It kind of just happens, and what's fucked up is like everyone wants to get it. Everyone knows what to do. We all try to get a job or want to get a job, but like shit happens. Like we get our shit stolen or fucking, you know, we get evicted. It's always something going on, and it's kind of like when it rains, it pours, and that just kind of like holds us down. Like I don't even feel confident going to fill out an application. I don't even have a phone to fucking have someone follow up from an application that I filled out from before. So. It's just a little bit of everything that kind of just holds us back and shit. But yeah, nobody really wants to be homeless and shit. So